Hello guys, welcome back to our channel, Mathcraft, and today we'll be teaching you about the logic gates in Minecraft. Basically, logic gates in Minecraft is based on Boolean, which is a true or false statement. And now we'll be looking at our first logic gate, which is NOT logic gate. Input I mark with I and the output I'll mark with O. So here's the case. The first case is if input equals 0, which means the lever is off, and the output will be 1. The output will be 1, which means that the light is on. And this one, and right here the input is 0 and the output is 1. And the second case is if the input equals to 1. Input equals to 1 means the lever is turned on and the output will be 0. The light is off. That is the logic of the NOT. That is the logic of the NOT logic. And moving to the second one, right here we have AND logic gate. The same input is I mark input with I and the output with O. And right here we got 4 cases of logic gates. So the first case is if input 1 and input 2 equals to 0. Input 1 and input 2 equals to 0, the lever is off and the output will be 0, the light is off. The second case is if input 1 is 0 and input 2 is 1. Input 1 is 0 and input 2 is 1. What we get? The output will be 0. Yep, the output is 0. The light is off. And the third case here, if input 1 equals 1 and input 2 equals 0. Input 1 equals 1 and input 2 equals 0. And we will get the output equals to 0. The light is still off. And our last case is if input 1 and input 2 equals to 1, then the output will be equal to 1. If input 1 and input 2 equal to 1 and the output equals to 1, the light is on here. This is the AND logic gate. Moving to the third one, we got OR logic gate. The same problem. Input I mark with capital I and output I mark with capital O. And we also get 4 cases here. If input 1, I'm talking about the input 1, the first case. If input 1 and input 2 equals to 0, then the output will be 0. If input 1 is 0 and input 2 is 0, the output is 0. The second case is if input 1 is 0 and input 2 is 1. Input 1 is 0 and input 2 is 1. Then the output will be 1. The light is on there, you can see. Let's turn this off. And the third case is if input 1 is 1 and input 2 is 0. Input 1 is 1 and input 2 is 0. The lever is off. Then the output will be 1, which means the light is on right there. In the last case, the fourth case, if input 1 and input 2 equals to 1. If input 1, let's turn this on, and input 2, turn this on, equals to 1. Both of this are on and the output will be 1. You can see right there the light is on, which means the input is 1. The output, sorry. And right here we got NOR logic gates. So what we get here, the first case, if input 1 and input 2 equals to 0, we'll get the output equals to 1. You can see the first input is 0 and the second input is 0. The output is 1. The light is on. Moving to the second case, if input 1 equals to 0 and input 2 equals to 1, the output will be 0. So right here we can see input 1 equals to 0 and turn this on. And yep, it will be off, which means 0, the output. Turn it back off. And moving to the third case, if input 1 equals 1 and input 2 equals 0, input 1 equals 1 and input 2 equals 0, the output will be still 0, which means no light is on, the light is off. Turn this back off. And moving to the fourth case, if input 1 and input 2 equals to 1 and output will be 0. Turn this on and turn this on. Yep, it'll be 0. And right here is our last logic gates for today, which is NAND logic gates. So right here, the first case, if input 1 and input 2 equals to 0 and the output will be 1. Input 1 and input 2 equals to 0 and the output is 1. The light is on. Moving to the second case, case 2, if input 1 equals to 0 and input 2 equals to 1, input 1 equals 0 and input 2 equals 1, the output will be 1. And right here, the light is still on. Moving to the third case, if input 1 equals 1 and input 2 equals 0, input 1 equals 1 and input 2 equals 0, and it will give the same output as the second case, which means the light will be on. The light is on here. And finally, our last logic is if input 1 and input 2 equals to 0. I think I made a mistake here. Yep. Actually, the fourth case means if input 1 and input 2 equals to 1, and then the output will be 0. Let me go like this for a bit. There you go. So the fourth case will be if input 1 and input 2 equals to 1, the output will be 0. Let's try this. Input 1 and input 2 is on. The output is 0. Yep, there you go. So that is the last case for our video, and hope you guys gain some knowledge about the logic gates, and hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.